In this video, we're going to talk about point-slope form. Suppose a line has slope m and x1, y1 is a point on that line. Let x comma y represent any other point on the line, and since m is the slope, then by the definition of the slope, m is y minus y1 over x minus x1. Now notice what I've done here is I've substituted the point x comma y for x2, y2 in the formula for the slope. Multiplying both sides by x minus x1 gives that y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And this is called the point-slope form of the equation of a line. Now notice there are really two things that you need to know to determine the equation of a line. One is the slope of the line, and the other is one point on the line. If that one point is the y-intercept, that's great, but it doesn't have to be the y-intercept. So you need to know the slope of the line and one point on the line. Now let's look at a couple examples. Find the equation of the line that has slope 2/3 and that passes through the point 6 comma 7. So I've drawn this line here that goes through the point 6 comma 7, and it has a slope of 2/3. Okay, now our formula says that y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Okay, so we're going to let our m be 2/3, and this 6 comma 7 is not x comma y, it's x1 comma y1. Okay, so we're going to plug in the 6 for x1 and the 7 for y1. So we have y minus 7 is equal to 2/3 times x minus 6. Now I said put your final answer in slope-intercept form, in other words in the form y equals mx plus b. So to do that we're going to distribute the 2/3. We have 2/3 x minus 2/3 times 6, but 2/3 times 6 is 4. And then finally add 7 to both sides. And what we get is y equals 2/3 x plus 3. Okay, so that is the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line. Okay, but we use the point-slope form to do this. Okay, originally y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So actually you can check the y-intercept here would be 3, right? Y equals mx plus b. The b is 3. Okay, in this example, the question is to find the equation of the line that passes through the points 2 comma 3 and 1 comma negative 4. So I've drawn those 2 points here, and the question is what is the slope of this line? Okay, actually not just what's the slope of the line, but what is the equation of that line? Okay, and then put your final answer in slope-intercept form. Well, remember the two things that we need to know to find the equation of a line are the slope of the line. Okay, so we need to find the m, the slope of the line, and the and one point on the line. So I'm sorry, the two things you need to know to find the equation of the line are the slope of the line and one point on the line. Okay, so the slope we can figure out, and one point on the line, yeah, well we definitely have one point on the line. In fact, we have more than one point on the line. We have 2 points. But let's call one of these points x1, y1, and let's call the other point x2, y2. Okay, now what is the slope between these 2 points? Well, it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what we have is minus 4 minus a 3 over 1 minus 2. But negative 4 minus 3 would be negative 7. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1. And negative 7 over negative 1 is just positive 7. So the slope of the line between these 2 points is 7. You can actually see that because the run between the 2 points is 1 and the rise is 7. 7 over 1 is 7. Okay, and then also our x1, y1, we could have picked either point to be x1, y1, but we picked it to be 2 comma 3. Okay, so now we're going to plug it into y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, the point-slope form of the equation of a line. So what we have is y minus y1, which is 3, is equal to m, which is 7, times x minus x1, which is 2. Okay, and again, put your final answer in slope-intercept form. So we want it in the form y equals mx plus b. We're going to distribute the 7. We get 7x minus 14. And last of all, add 3 to both sides. And what we end up with is y is equal to 7x minus 11. Okay, so if you're wondering where does this intersect the y-axis here, it would be down here at negative 11. Okay. All right, and finally, let's do one more example. Find the equation of the line that passes through the point -3, 5 and is perpendicular to the line y equals 1/2 x minus 7. Okay, so what we're looking for is a line that goes through this point, -3, 5, this point here, and is perpendicular to this line y equals 1/2 x minus 7. That's what I've drawn here. And so I've drawn in red the line that we're looking for. Okay, this line goes through -3, 5, and this is perpendicular. Okay, it's a right angle here with this line. Okay, well, let's remember the two things you need to know to determine the equation of a line are the slope of the line, okay, and one point on the line. And we have one point on the line. We have our x1, y1. That's -3, 5. Okay, that's one point on this line. Now, what's the slope of this line? Well, the slope of this line down here is 1/2. Okay, but our red line is not going to have the same slope as the blue line. The slope for the red line should be -2, right? -2/1. Okay, the negative reciprocal of that. Okay, so now let's use our point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And we have y minus 5 is equal to -2 times x minus a -3. Okay, we just plugged in m is -2 and x1, y1 is -3, 5. Okay, distribute the -2. Well, actually, before we distribute the -2, let's rewrite x minus a -3 as x plus 3. Okay, now let's distribute the -2. We get -2x minus 6 on the right side. And if we add 5 to both sides, we get y equals -2x minus 1. So that is the equation of the red line here. Okay, this line is y equals -2x minus 1. Actually, it intersects the y-axis down there at -1. Okay.